Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Pixel Prophecy stream. I'm so glad that you all could make it. First of all, Frank, thank you so much for your sustained contributions and subscriptions to this channel. You're well over 70 months now. This is truly incredible. So again, straight here from my heart, that's so under the ribs from there to you, I meant to say. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. And congratulations as well on winning the pop quiz. Commander Stitch is a second with 3 out of 6 questions answered correctly. And Kersey just joined in time with 1 question answered correctly, but it still landed you a spot on the podium. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for dropping by. Like I said, yeah, exactly, Kirsty, 70 months. That's hot. That's almost as hot as it is here. And for this purpose, I already have my water here. Time does indeed fly. And Commander Stitch, thank you so much for dropping by. You lost. Yeah, but there's always a next Pixel Prophecy stream, so I'm sure that you'll be able to catch up. So apparently we have audio levels, which is not something that is very common here, at least not when I'm doing lots of audio things in the background and in the foreground and pretty much all week now. Because I think those who were here last time, where I talked about saving and archiving essentially all my old audio files, and I'm still at it, and it's grown into a project, so to speak, because I really want to be absolutely sure that I change nothing from the original files, but yeah, just use more or less open file formats or well-documented file formats and all that sort of thing. So, and you can tell how that is going from my rings, the black eyes. No, the black eye is a different thing. So these dark rings under my eyes from today and the nights before, because yeah, software and proprietary old software is super annoying when you realize much too late that probably you shouldn't have put all your eggs into one basket. So let this already be a lesson for you. If you have a lot of files or a big archive in certain file formats where you feel like, gee, this is just one corporation who's doing all this management and I'm having all my files in their database, gee, wouldn't it be horrible if something happened? And they know this. This is why you pay probably a monthly ransom for your files. Essentially, it with things like Adobe Cloud or so, it comes down to that. So this sparked, I mean, not Adobe, but one of the things with my audio plugins. Yeah, it's a plugin with my instruments, essentially with my virtual instruments, where they changed owners, and I realized that, oh, I used this VST set a lot in many projects, spanning probably almost a decade by now. And they said, yeah, for now, you shouldn't worry, all the effects still work. The thing is, everything is online nowadays, and also so is the authorization to use this plugin. And I was using their free things, free presets throughout. And usually when there is some sort of takeover, and things, rarely stay as they were. So again, this is my race, essentially, to get all my audio files just sorted and exported in a format that is relatively clean and open, and so that should I need to, that I can recreate my songs in a new software, or even if I cannot recreate them, then I can still use the individual tracks and don't have them all mushed together in one export. So this is what has been busy going on, keeping me busy essentially this week besides work. So yeah. And I thought today I will continue with you, that essentially you get a glimpse of what it is that I do and I've been doing, and also to more or less document all that crap that goes into this, because this is, at first I thought, you know what, this is going to be a couple of days worth and then I'll be done, but it's because software changes so much, it's a big project. You can see behind me here on the shelf, this is the software my audio programs that I've bought over the years, where I still had the physical discs that I brought up, and let me show you some. And have I missed anything? Oh, Nomonero is here. Hello, Nomonero. Thank you for dropping by. I'm about to show you some old software boxes. Hope you are ready. A beautiful stack of old software. So yeah, one of my first audio software was this Cubase Essential 5. And look at this thing. I'm not a fan of this box, but I mean, there still was... Some people thought about how they package things, and again, I feel like this is a lost art, especially with game boxes. We had some beautiful boxes, but even boring boxes like here, Reason, the complete music making and recording studio, even they had super nice slender boxes, and they had here this hello title and a nice artwork. This was pre-slop artwork. And in there was even this ignition key, as it was called. I still have it somewhere, probably. Yes, because this is when they started using hardware dongles, essentially. So without this, you cannot launch Reason. And yeah, this is was probably one of the first attempts to curtail rampant software piracy out there. I mean, to a certain extent, I might have been a little bit a contributing factor to that as a student, let's put it like this, but at some point I just realized, okay, I'm really using this and I want to keep using it. And so this is why I bought the upgrade and then another upgrade, and I'm still buying the upgrades, by the way. This is Reason 4 or 5, does it say here? Yes, it says here version 4. Right now there's Reason 14 out. I'm still running Reason 13. But it's just nice to have here these boxes where people really thought about how they look. And yes, exactly, manuals, says Frank, possibly even manuals. There's a getting started guide with pictures in multiple languages. I don't need all the languages, but yeah, we got here nice discs and so on. And one thing is, of course, I thought I happened upon this neat little thing by chance, by just opening boxes, but of course it's in the last box, in the one that I haven't opened yet, the Reason Upgrade 5. And there was something in there where I thought, you know what, that's kind of really completely unnecessary, but I always am a big fan when they introduce things like here, stickers, because that you can put them on your car or something. So apparently I peeled off here one sticker that was already here, and this is just a neat little welcome card with the logo on it. Just a card, and even more stickers, because in this release they added a couple of new synthesizers and effects, and so this you have here the logos for your stickers. The logos as stickers, so you can stick them onto whatever your computer or something. So I usually, even as a kid, when something came with stickers, I never really peeled them off and placed them and stuck them anywhere, because I thought I will never get a second sticker like this one. So this is precious, the sticker that came with my, I don't know, cereal box. Well, probably not the cereal box, because there I knew I might get another one. But with things like this, yeah, I'm rather protective of these boxes and what came in those boxes. So yeah, and to be able, as we might see today or not, Reason changed certain things between their versions, and to be able to open certain effects, I had to install older Reason versions and a certain version of Reason, because yeah, they changed effects, which again is probably something that you can count on, especially with software that I've been using since, let me check, since 2005. This is when I first got introduced to Reason, so 21 years. And what I really hold Reason Studios, I hold them in high regard for this one thing, that is my first Reason songs from 2005. They still open without a problem in current Reason. They sound exactly the same, and the only issue is with certain effects that later Reason versions introduced, they start to show things that aren't really translatable between the versions. So, but overall, still, I save everything that I open with the current Reason version and just name it, yeah, this is the 2026 save of this project, just in case they say, you know what, we need to make a clean cut and now versions prior 10 do not work anymore. Talking about things that don't work anymore, we got here, does anyone remember what this is? I mean, it says it right here on the rim. So yeah, it's Adobe when you could still buy Adobe software. And again, this was CS5 and CS 5.5, and every new release really came in one of these. Okay, probably shouldn't have done it like so. Came in one of these boxes. Again, kind of neat because there is just so much there. I'm not going to show you my serial number, that's on the orange sheet, but still it came like on there are 4 discs in there, 4 DVD ROMs, so it's like 21 gigabytes already, and this was 2015 or something. So this is really when Adobe started, you know what, let's not make the leanest software, let's just put everything we got on there, because more data, more installed bytes means probably it's more, you can charge more for it. And yeah, so this is why I had to bring them up from the basement, because I needed Adobe Audition 4, I thought. No, what I actually needed was Adobe Audition 3, which I tracked down through the help of, well, not the unicorns, they just helped me here with the boxes, through the help of archive.org. And turns out, of course, it won't run in current Windows installations, of course, because it's this black hole between Windows 2000 that still runs in my virtual machine and Windows 11 that I'm using right now, but these kinds of Windows Vista, Windows 8.1 and all that sort of crap. Yeah, this is currently the slouch that I have to get through with my projects. Anyway, what have I missed in the chat? For one thing, Jerzy is here. Thank you so much for dropping by. We're talking old software and, as I said, liberating or freeing or archiving old audio. And Frank says text in multiple language would even be better. Text in multiple languages. What did I say? Multiple languages, different texts. Probably said it wrong, but hopefully you knew what I meant. Right, so let me switch over, and hopefully the background music should be gone now, because when we're looking at old songs and audio, probably there will be audio playing, and I don't want this to mix with what's in the background. Okay, you said images in multiple languages. Did I? Of course I did. Cheers to images in multiple languages. Well, maybe, do you count hieroglyphics as images and cuneiform? Doesn't work. Oh, before I do all that, I'm still owing you some sort of review for my upright mouse, my vertical mouse. That's the one that I got more or less on a whim, like I said last time. And now I've been using it for 2 weeks. And I've also brought this to work and used it there for color grading software and all the likes. The funny thing is, this has a dongle that you can connect, and yeah, how you know how wireless mice work. It also got a Bluetooth support. So down here you can see I can switch between 3 different Bluetooth. There we go. Receivers. So essentially it's super helpful, this kind of feature when you switch between multiple machines, as I do at work. So all I need to do is I just use the same mouse on my personal notebook, then just tap the button and connect to my work computer, and it's rather seamless. And again, so at first I didn't really have an opinion on vertical mice. Then I heard a podcast half a year ago about someone saying, yeah, it's the best thing ever and everyone should switch to vertical mice. And I thought, yeah, not gonna buy it because I do so much intricate stuff with Photoshop and yeah, pixel manipulation and yeah, you know what I do. So when I got myself this mouse 2 weeks ago, I thought, yeah, probably I will return it. I'm just curious to see how it goes. And it really works well. And there was if you're curious about the transition time, how long it takes you to get used to it, in my case, I mean, of course, your mileage may vary, but in my case, it was like 5 to 10 minutes maximum. At first, it's kind of weird that you're going like this, but essentially, I mean, the movement of the arm is more or less the same. So it's, again, you're more or less pinching and not pushing, which again, once you get used to, you don't even notice it anymore. So after 1 week, I started playing, I tried to play Command and Conquer because I thought, you know what, I want to test this where it really comes down to speed and where you do lots of clicking and lots of selecting and yeah, all these kinds of things that with real-time strategy. And at first, my brain said something is wrong here, but I already had internalized the muscle memory of it. And so the first half minute of Command and Conquer just going like this and not going like so was weird. But again, it's surprisingly quick. And so I bought now a second mouse so that I have one here stationary on this machine and one always on the go, because sometimes I kept forgetting this one and then had to revert to the traditional mouse. And yeah, of course, when you switch between it's not really a big problem when you're used to both. It feels like when you're driving a stick shift and automatic. Of course, it takes like, yeah, a couple of minutes to get used to when you switch, but it's, again, I was surprised to see how swiftly and how easy this was. And on the upside is I've been having some pain here on my wrist, especially when I overextended the wrist. Probably could be also due to carrying my notebook bag, which is very heavy, probably because of all the mice that I carry around. And yeah, going like this and not like this for 2 weeks now really has I feel like my shoulder pain and my this tensed up muscles. I mean, I'm still tense there. I've been tense for like 20 years now there, but still it feels slightly better. So yeah, if you're on the fence about it or have no opinion on it, if you can try it out. And again, if it doesn't work for you after half an hour, you probably just maybe just 15 minutes or so. If it doesn't work for you after 15 minutes, and that it's not for you. But again, like I said, I didn't really have an opinion, and now 2 weeks later, I'm an evangelist for upright vertical mice. So yeah, apparently it's good. It's good. The only downside is, as I've said last time, there aren't that many manufacturers of these kinds of mice, and so I went with the classic Logitech one. Again, I feel like it's a bit overpriced, and I can already feel like, okay, this rubber is probably coming off in 2 years and getting sticky, and I don't like this, but for now it works. So yeah, this was update on upright mice. Frank says, we do know what you do. You play board games with the unicorns. Of course I do. Who doesn't play board games with their unicorns? They always let me win. They're really that nice. Once I tried to let the unicorns win, and they were also trying to let me win, and it was a lose-lose situation for everyone. The biggest problem, says Frank, is that they don't look like a mouse, so all metaphors break. That is indeed. I mean, one person said, it's a mouse when it has a cord, and it's a hamster when it's cordless. But what should we call this? The Nokia N-Gage of mice? Yeah, it's definitely it's now a human computer interface device, I would say. So let's talk audio. So as you can see here from my desktop, a lot has been going on here. Let me just give you a quick overview of, look, all those games that I've been meant to play. And there are 1, 2, 3 games that I haven't even started after I installed them because I never really got into it. So, and here it starts where I already have my empty folders that I will be using so that I can structure my things. So when I was saving my songs, usually I just dumped everything that belonged to a certain song just into the song names folder, the folder that had the name of the song, just dumped everything there. And now I want to be a little bit more organized, and so that I can just have here this as my template so that I can just mix and match my my folder structure. And then here, this row below here, this is what I've been really doing most of this week. So I have here some batch scripts for converters. Finally, I've gotten around to install Python on my system. You know me, I said I'm not a big fan of Python and don't really enjoy this indent-based programming. And so, yeah, I got over myself, installed Python, and downloaded 2 very helpful tools from GitHub and have been super happy with it. So yeah, there we go. Vertical mice, Python, what's next? I say good things about Adobe. Well, we'll see about that. So yeah, of course, then graphic card drivers and screenshots. And here we are with my barrage of audio software. So Cubase, I shown you. Cakewalk Sonar is so that I can open my old Cakewalk Pro Audio and Cakewalk Home Studio files, which still works with it. It's horrible software. I shown you the last time. And Reason 8, again, because with Reason 9, certain effects won't work anymore because they changed their architecture internally. So this is why we have Reason 8 and the current Reason 13. Then we have the GoatTracker. Does anyone know what the GoatTracker is? And then we have here 3 different flavors of Adobe Audition with different fidelity in their user icon, or in their user desktop icon. And this is again for converting old Cool Edit Pro sessions, because Cool Edit by Centrillium Software was bought by Adobe, and then all they changed with the first release was they called it Audition and didn't do a lot. And then at some point they changed the file format of the binary files, of the session files. And of course I have new session files. And again, this was half my afternoon, even more than that, just trying to figure out how I can open these old files. And as you can see, this was the reason why I have here like 2 Adobe suites here. And yeah, long story short, I needed Adobe Audition 3, got it from the archive with lots of, looking around for the serial number that is legit. And the thing is, when I launch it, I get this. It's a runtime error. Yeah, doesn't work in this version. So this is my current state of things. Kersey has a watch streak. Oh my god, 45 streams. I always joke that I'm not even here this often. Incredible. How did you do this? It's okay. Do the unicorns have this streak? Probably not. Because I can tell. I mean, I can show you. I can show you. Do you see this here? This unicorn is not watching the stream. This unicorn is probably looking at, my candy bar that sits here half eaten, because I, as always, misjudged how much time I still have left. So this is why here Shadow Ashley, Sparkly Sky Ashley is not watching the stream. So you have this definitely ahead of her. Congratulations, Kersey. Really thank you for being such a stalwart viewer. Is a goat that track you, says Numonero. Almost. I can show you. It's a tracker software that looks like this and has been looking like this. And in this newer version, you already have mouse support, because this is a tracker for Commodore music. So you can do your Commodore SID chip music creation. Unless, of course, you want to do it on the actual Commodore 64, this is probably the most convenient thing. And like I said, finally, we have here mouse support that you can click things. Before that, let me show you here. This is the help menu of the GoatTracker. And this is one of the first tools that I used to make chip music. So yeah, of course, I had to install it and just to be able to open my old song files there. So yeah, lots of looking at old software. I'm happy to be stalwart. You're welcome. Frank says the automated unicorn would have this sort of streak if it hadn't eaten some of the digits. That is true. And I think sometimes it even just deletes curly brackets out of spite. And this is also not in its own best interest. Cheers, by the way. Finally, let's get cracking. So I'm currently in my year of 2008 of the songs, and you can see here I have them categorized by chip music, covers, sequencing, shorts, sketches, and everything else is a somewhat good song that is somewhat long. And you can see here there are many songs that whose names you haven't heard, probably because they are just some random either covers or play-alongs. And yeah, I mean, we got here Radiohead, the Reckoner session. Don't know what this is, but I'm sure we'll get there. And yeah, everything here is from 2008, and I'm very protective of the file dates, because the only way that I have to realize or to know when a certain song was made. So I avoid changing anything in these original files. I'm not sure if this is the best way of doing things, but I usually just add to this. Oh, thank you, Numonero. Yeah, let's all have a sip of water. The automated unicorn is just very thirsty today. Apparently something got selected. Anyway, so and the other thing is, of course, I write everything that I remember about a song down, and yeah, this is the current state of things. I'm having this here organized as a YAML file, not so much that it's machine readable, but so that I can do this folding here in Notepad++. But on the upside, at some point, I might want to sort these things. For example, if here everything follows a certain naming convention where it says the name, colon, then the file date, then what kind it is, then the rating, and then some note about it. And because of this structurity, I don't know what it is. So because I'm this structured, at some point I had to make sure that this is actual proper valid YAML, and I'm glad that it is. Of course, probably this one is not anymore because I added here this, and as soon as there is a colon in there, it breaks. So again, at some point, probably I will parse this, and so that I can have it as a CSV file or some other file. But for now, this is just the most convenient way for me to enter things and my thoughts about this. Again, it's surprisingly large. I mean, right now we're here at 800 lines and 121 probably bytes or something. Yeah, it's about 18,000 words right now, and it's Connie already joked that it's my audiobiography that I'm writing here, and I'm at year 2008. But again, over the years I had less and less time to make music and spend more time making videos and games, so these things should hopefully get a little bit quicker. So right, we are here in my 2008 folder, and so right until clear skies, everything has been sorted. So this is where I'm currently standing. And when we look at this, okay, here we have a SES file. This is one of those dreaded sessions here that should open in Adobe Audition, but they don't because this weird binary file does not work with them. Then I have here something that was recorded, and at this point I might as well have a listen to know what actually is going on here. So apparently this, I would say, this sounds like a sketch of a song. Yeah, not a lot of interesting things there. Then we get it clean guitar. Yeah, this goes on for almost 4 minutes. So yeah. So then let's write this down. So this was called Clear Skies. And what's the file date? It's 2008, 04, 06, or is it? Well, this is when I started the recording, so it's from... Apparently I saved it much later, so this is why I'm... Like I said, I'm now very protective of my file dates. So when... Okay, the recorded folder then... I think this should go in the recorded folder. Yeah, I don't know. Since it's empty, I don't need it. So this, again, this here is the setup for Audition. So this is why I have here my empty folder that I can just put in here. And at some point I will have exports and I will have stems exported. Oh, here she says, I always admire how organized someone can be. My history consists of a box of old hard drives I removed from my old laptops. The thing is, I mean, I started out, I was once like you, dear Jiří, and then I needed to find things again, and not one odd file where I thought, you know what, I can devote half an afternoon to just finding this one file, hopefully, where it was more files spread throughout. And at this point I realized maybe I should just take inventory, because I think every one of us has way too many external drives or thumbsticks floating around where they think, I'm pretty sure I know what's on there. And then you connect it up, if it still works, and you will be surprised what is still on there that you've completely forgotten. So yeah, it's in the end, it just takes time to organize this. So yeah. And again, to me personally, I mean, some people hate this. Like it's all understandable. But to me, it feels like I'm finally getting an overview. I'm finally understanding and getting everything into the same shape, more or less. So this is why I'm having here my organization structure. So the session goes here to Audition, and these things here, these are probably samples, individual samples that I'm using in Audition, so they should go here. So yeah, right, Clear Skies. This one then was made with Audition, and it's not very good. And just 2 tracks of distorted guitar. The title probably was inspired by Stalker Clear Sky that I had been playing at the time. And that's all there is to these kind of songs, because again, it's just 1 or 2 sentences, but sometimes it's really enlightening, or at least to me, when I realize how a song title has cropped up over the years, because apparently I really like Deeper Down, The Deepest Dream as a song title, which already was stolen from somewhere else, but I've figured out where from, and so on and so forth. Okay, Frank says, I'm about to start lurking, have fun. Thank you, Frank, for sticking with me for this long. And if you're looking to fall asleep, then you can tune in. Because probably, yeah, just hearing me talk, Connie said, is so very soothing. And I think I've said this before, when I'm slightly sleepy after a long day and I'm just editing my own voiceovers, it happened more than once, and yeah, more than twice, that I've fallen asleep just listening to my own voice. So yeah, for what it's worth, maybe it helps you sleep as well, just this. Right, okay, so let's convert these things. And yeah, as for this conversion, there is this beautiful tool here that I got from GitHub, and this is converts the session file to the session X file, which again, the X I think is because Adobe changed the file format to something XML based or so. Again, it was not easy finding a way to convert these files, but the cool thing now is that I can drag now this file onto this batch, and then this opens up. Just hit enter, and right next to the source file there is now this Audition. Why do so many programs sound similar? I mean, since audio, I get it, but we have Audacity and Audition. This is what I tend to mix up. But then as for my other programs, get hold of this. So I was using Rebirth, which later became Reason. Then I'm using another digital audio workstation that is called Reaper. And I'm using at work my color grading software that is called Resolve. So this is why it might probably be not just once or twice that I mix things up today, but a lot of times. So just so you know that when you're confused about how I say Reason or what I say with Audacity or Audigy, yeah, that was Audigy was the name of my sound card back then. Yeah. Never mind. I hope, says Yerzy, I'll find time to organize old things too. Again, it has to be some sort of a hobby and not that something that you hate. But maybe if you feel bored and a little bit nostalgic, just get one old hard drive and just sort things through. Hard word. And again, maybe it gives you some nostalgia, some joy. Or if you realize you hate it, then just format the old thing and just good riddance. How audacious! I think Audacious wasn't this also some audio tool? Again, if it starts with AU, then chances are it's someone called their audio tool this. So these Clear Skies, the first thing that I do is I change it to the file name to 2026 save, and then I open it, and then it complains that it cannot find files. So let's link these media files, and I think this is where I had them here in samples. This is where I put them, and let's hope that those are the files. Yes, indeed, this is the files that were absent. And yeah, it's just one track. This was completely pointless now. So this is one file, one audio file on one track. So, but still, what I do is just so that I know in the future, I cannot know that there is just one track in there that is absolutely pointless. So I take a screenshot of this and save it next to it, so that even if I do not have the software to open this file, I can look at the screenshot and see, yeah, probably not that interesting that I need to open it up. So this is why, you know what, I'm just going to close this. Yeah, probably going to save it. And that's it. Move the screenshot right next to it and be done with it. So this was the clear skies. So I do not need here the export folder or this, yeah, the samples folder I need, or the stems folder, because again, there is just nothing there. So I'm moving my clear skies now to sketches and head over to the next one. Okay, this is interesting. There's a reason file and a play out. So this probably sounds like a proper song. So Clockwork, no idea what this is about, but it's from 6/6/2008. And it was made with Reason. No rating just now because I don't know how good this song is. So to open this up, I need to manually open it up here in Reason. Double clicking will launch the wrong reason. So, and you do not want to give something the wrong reason. So again, first thing I do is I'm going to save this as Clockwork 2026 save. This is the first thing that I do, is just to be able, like I said, in case that I cannot open this anymore in the future, so just that I'm safe. So the next thing is I look at the sequence, and doesn't look like there is a lot here. So if I maximize now here the view, okay, this appears to be just one instrument. Okay, so piano improvisations. But again, screenshot of the entire thing, just to be sure. Then select everything, and I'm going to export a MIDI file. The MIDI file doesn't need this 2026 save. And then I'm as well exporting the entire song as a mixdown that I'm going to just call Clockwork 2026 mixdown. And it asks me about sample rate and bit depth. The good thing is this exports relatively fast, especially compared to back then. I was amazed when something exported at 1.5 times original speed. So a 3-minute song would be done in like 2 minutes, no, not 2 minutes, in 1 minute or so. This again, and now it's, how long was this? Rather pointless thing. Yeah, about over 2 minutes, and it was just a couple of seconds. So the next thing is, because this is Reason, I need to have a look at the rack. And the rack in this case is super simple because there is only one instrument here, and this is music for airports. This is this airy piano sound that we had. So what do? I take a screenshot of the entire thing. This is really a really simple rack setup. Then I flip the rack over so that I know how things are connected up, and save it. And finally, what I do is I disable all the effects that are on there. So I'm bypassing here the reverb, and I'm also turning down all the return knobs there so that I get the dry signal here. Sometimes I even have here the EQ on, or there is something wrong here. Well, not something wrong. The pen is either to the left or the right, and so on and so forth. So this is why I'm going to solo this track here and export the entire song of just this one instrument. I mean, since we have here only one instrument, this is done relatively quickly. So, and I'm going to call this 1 NNXT. And NNXT is, you can see here, this is the name of the synthesizer. And the next thing that I'm going to call it here is, name it here is what the preset was called. And this one was called Music for Airports. Music for Airports. There we go. Export. Sometimes I have tracks where I'm using like 20 tracks or something. And then, of course, it takes a lot of time. So I do not need to save it. So everything should be done. So what do we have here? So we're here in the Clockwork folder. So I'm going to use here my setups reason, my exports, and my stems. So this Clockwork here probably is an early export from 2011. So I just keep this, move it to export. So this is the reason project, so that I move here, and everything that I just exported and saved lives here in a folder on my desktop. So we have here, this is the new save. This is why it's called .reason. The other one is called .rns, which is a legacy file. So I'm just pulling over here the files for Clockwork, the MIDI file. Again, just in case that I need the actual notes in some other project. And of course, the screenshots. So even without being able to open this file again in the future, I can just look at the screenshots and see, okay, there is just this one instrument on one track. What is this instrument? Next screenshot. Okay, so it's music for airports. Am I doing anything weird with the channel setup? No, it just pipes directly into the mixer. Okay, good. I do not need to worry about this. So the only thing that we have now left here are these two exports, and they are by default here in the WAV file format. The only downside is, of course, that it's 77 megabytes, and again, it probably benefits from being compressed, especially when you have multiple tracks where for each track, most of it is silence. Since a WAV file is essentially completely uncompressed, it doesn't matter if it's silence or noise, the file type is always the same as long as the length is the same. So I'm going to convert this now to FLAC, to losslessly compressed FLAC at highest compression. And again, for this, I have here a batch file. I can show you the contents of this batch file. And again, it just opens here FFmpeg, and since I'm having a beefy CPU, so it can run 12, maximum 12, at least I limit it here to 12 maximum conversions concurrently. So, and again, all I need to do is now I just drag the WAV file, drop it onto the batch file, this runs, and now look at this, it's two FLAC files, and this is now 35 megabytes. So this is already some sort of savings here. And these are, one is the export and the other is one of the stems. And let's move on to the next one. So Clockwork clearly was not a finished song, so it's a sketch. And that's how it goes. This is what I've been doing. So what do we have here? This one is called just College, and I think it was called because it was college rock inspired. And we have here another session and one export. So let's have a listen into the export, because this is probably the one that tells us most about it. Yeah, so just ad-libbing with the guitar. Oh yes, I didn't describe Clockwork. Well, it's just a one-star sketch, and say just mucking about with a piano patch for about 3 minutes. Not very interesting. So that I know I do not need to come back to it. So College. When was this created, recorded? 2008, 28. This was at least the MP3 that I made out of it. So I recorded it on March 17th. Okay, so. Well, not that far in the future. And apparently this was done in Audacity. It's not that bad, but I still only give it 2 stars. Usually I give something 3 stars when I feel like, okay, 3 stars is not good, but I wouldn't die of embarrassment if someone listened it or it leaked somewhere or somehow. 4 stars is a very good song, and 5 stars is cream of the crop. And yeah, 1 and 2 stars, you can see here, there are some songs that aren't that good. So College, named because I wanted to make something that I felt was college rock whatever that meant. And I had discovered the wah-wah effect here, I guess. Oh, yes. And add to dictionary. Add to dictionary. And for some reason, www, I've never typed in this document. Okay, so again, let's have a look. So the PK files, this is just a peak file. This is a sidecar file of Cool Edit or Audacity that just has the peaks to it. Again, usually it's not something that you need to hang on to because it gets recreated every time you open it up in Audacity. But again, I like it that it has here the file stamp because I'm not changing peak files. So this is usually means, okay, this is the last time that I'd opened it, for example, in Audacity or something. So, okay, what do we need? We need an export, then we need samples, and we need the setups for Audacity. So, Audacity is here. Audition, see? Is this session. Spar College. Oh, Spar, this is one of the shops around the university where I studied. So this apparently had this name at some point. So this MP3 is the export and the rest are just the samples that I used there in Audition. So you already know the drill. Pick the session object, drop it here, and it's converted. Rename it here to 2026 save and open it in Audition. Link the media here to samples, and everything is here. Maximize, screenshot, and finally I can do here some exports. So yeah. I mean, I still, just for completion's sake, I'm going to export it here as an OMF, which is an open metadata exchange format or something. So this is a future-proof thing. But again, since because no one wants, especially not Adobe, wants to allow people to bring their files to a different product. Most of the time, these OMFs are, let's say, badly implemented, and probably this one will also just complain. So of course, since this is Adobe, every time I want to export, I have to change my preset back to how I want it to be because it cannot save it. This is impossible for today's computers. So, and I'm exporting here this, and luckily it doesn't take that long to export. But what is surprisingly long to export is when I export the entire thing here as a multi-track mixdown. So essentially, I'm saving it as a song where all the tracks are combined together. And then while I'm doing this, I'm also exporting each track individually. This is at least the idea. So I just have to make sure that the format is here set to FLAC, which is good. 24 bits is good. And every time I need to tell it, yes, I need all the tracks individually. Here we go. And then I click OK. And we wait because apparently it takes much longer and it takes an Adobe product much longer to render just some WAV files out than it takes software like Reason to render like 3 minutes of synthesizer tracks or something. So again, I'm not very what's the word? I'm not very confident that this programming here has gone very well here. This is not quality software, ladies and gentlemen and unicorns, not at all. And I know how not quality software looks like because I used to write it. I mean, the song, for what it's worth, is, I think, 2 minutes long. And again, even if you export it as FLAC, I mean, let's see in the task manager and see if this is running just on one core, because I have my suspicions about Adobe software. Well, it's not using all the cores, right? That there are. Useless. And then you use tools like FFmpeg, which I always say, yeah, they just eat up your CPU power. Whatever you can supply it, FFmpeg just flat tops out at 100% on every core. and that's it. So here we have the optimized, the 2026 version of Adobe Audition. This is the latest version. This is not Audition 3 or 4. This is the current version. And I mean, this is the CPU performance here. How much it utilizes my CPU is just lovable, really. So no wonder this takes this long. And I mean, you could say it's probably because I'm streaming alongside, but yeah, again, we've seen how quickly Reason exported. Granted, it didn't export a FLAC of it, but the FLAC conversion was equally quick in the end. So probably should have just said, you know what, please export me a WAV file, and I do the FLAC conversion myself. So 88%, we're at 88%, and yeah, this is. You know what? I will keep the task manager around when I'm rendering, just so that we can point fingers at Adobe software when I'm rendering with a different tool. So let's behold the export. So one thing is that I still have here my screenshot that I bring here, and the export here is College Rock. So since this is Adobe, everything has here an XMP sidecar file, and we get here the OMF file, and yeah, the mixdown and the individual tracks. And again, it shouldn't have taken this long. So the individual tracks go to stems. This is a folder that I do not have yet. Then the export goes to exports, and the OMF goes to setups. Good. So here I have, let's drop here the stems folder, sort everything here, and we're done with college, and it's a sketch. Of course, I cannot move it because it's still open in this tool. Let's try again. There we go. Nope, still nope. Try again. Yeah, just have to try over and over. Right, so the next one here is called Descent 2008. So, and I think this sounds like I attempted to remake one of my Descent tracks that were inspired by the game Descent from Interplay. At least it was published by Interplay. And apparently in 2008, in January 11th, 2008, I found this one and thought I'd do something with it. So this one is called Descent 2008. It was modified 2008 1.11, and it was apparently a Reason song. And let's look into it. But first, I have bring here my folders and bring it here to setups Reason. So good. So Descent 2008, and at first we have here some missing sounds, and this is a bit, I'm in a bit of a pickle here because I can see here I'm using the JP Bass pad, and I'm not sure if I can find them all, but oh, look at this. These endings are SF2, those are sound fonts, and I think I do have my sound fonts somewhere. So Wicked and NES, those are my own sound fonts, so I know where these are. I know where these are, so I can say browse for folder, go here to resources, sound fonts, and somewhere here, just say okay, and let's see how many it finds here. Okay, so we're down to 3 samples, and this is, okay, maybe they're still here in resources and samples, Synths, Quark, Knight Rider, drums perhaps, kick drums, hi-hat, cymbals. Yeah, it should be somewhere here. The only downside is here, I do not want to select here the Amiga folder because the Amiga folder has have like literally thousands of Amiga samples from back in the day. So just in case I want to make something Amiga sounding, so this probably takes a while to look through. So yeah, let's, you know what, let's just say, hey, this is the folder. Have a look at it, maybe you can find it. So again here, this is the amount of, okay, didn't take that long, but still don't know where I can find the NES sounds. See, it's really time that I do this and try to find and hunt down samples. I even found some sample CDs on archive.org of samples that I used in earlier projects. So again, you feel a bit like a sleuth sometimes. Okay, so let's figure out where these could be. So Seth Carissa, sketches, albums, resources. It must be somewhere in resources, but apparently it's not here in resources. Did I make a sound font out of it? Snare, open hi-hat, and nest drums. Okay, plan B. I need to log on to my archive server and dig in the 2008 folder. Maybe I can find in there these samples somewhere. Just takes a while to spin the old platters up. There we go, archive, and here we are. So probably it sits here, and in 2008, there we go. So I called myself Text Sound before I went with Seth Carissa. So maybe in here we can find what we're looking for. So it was called Descent, and nope, it's just the same folder that we know. But maybe here in audio, oh no, this folder is empty. Okay, we're having a bit of a problem now. Maybe here, audio, sound bites, sound effects, sound design, sound effects, own. Is there an NES? No. And see, this is usually sometimes you go one song after the other, and sometimes it's things like this where you really have to start digging where you can find things. So I've used, okay, Phil, think. I've used this before. I've used these samples before of the NES because I had sampled them. So let's go 1 year earlier and see if they're here in Nuendo projects. I think I used it here for song 1. Do we have here the NES file? No. This is the SID file that I used there. Yeah, this is just the Commodore sound chip. Chip tunes, Bitpop. No, it's not here. But maybe, I mean, I didn't clean up the text sound folder, so maybe I can find it here in my old resources at some point. Presets, refills, refill. That's me. I mean, I have here my Tetris drum set, but this is not what we're looking here. I really wonder where this came from. I mean, I can search my Dropbox now, because my Dropbox, I'm using my Dropbox more or less as pretty much my entire hard drive. So just in case you're wondering, my Dropbox is probably like 1.5 terabytes in size. So hopefully, yeah, Tetris drums. I can while I'm looking there on Dropbox, I can play you the song where I used Tetris as a drum set. Thankfully, now that I've cleaned things up here, I should be able to find it instantly. So it's called Song 1, and here is the export. Yeah. Okay, cannot find it in my Dropbox. That should be elsewhere. This was song 1 from 2007, when I thought that I make a proper rock album. Yeah, it's not that good. It's not that good. Okay, last idea where I can be looking. This really has me stumped. Usually you would think that I know where I can find nest drums, but maybe I can. Okay, this is last ditch effort. If you head over to pixelprophecy.com/stuff, there is the NES Percussion Masters package, where I collected a bunch of samples from various NES games and sorted them for use in programs like these where you can use it for percussion. And I think this should still be around somewhere. Sound and music. Yeah, maybe it's here under stock sounds and music, because that I have not crawled yet. Okay, browse for folder. Please do your worst. Hope you find it somewhere. Okay, none of the missing sounds were found. Damn it, this... I just take a screenshot of this now and say, yeah, missing sounds. So, okay, we're back here, back in Reason. What can I do? Well, first I can look at the sequencer there and see. Oh, you know what? I think I might have an idea where I can find these files. I have one last idea. And missing sounds window, there we go. Browse to folder, because maybe they are a part of a sound font. Here we are in resources, sound fonts, and here are my own sound fonts where I made, probably under synths, there is the NES by Tex, and maybe there we have them. Apparently not. Ah, darn. I thought maybe here, but yeah, this sucks. And Nomonera says, "Hey, I'll go for now, but I'll stay lurking. Thank you, by the way. Just wanted to say that it's always a pleasure to be a part of your stream with your positive attitude and good vibe." Oh, thank you so much. I'm not talking about all the great subject you're bringing to us for each streams. One of the pillars of Pixel art content, actually. Have a good one, and don't forget drinking water. Thank you so much, Nomonero. I'm also glad that you're having a good time here while I'm hunting down samples. Cheers, and yeah, I will have a sip of water now. Okay, so what else can I see here now from where we are in this song? For once, I can tell there are lots of unused controller sequences here. So this looks like I imported a MIDI file at some point, so I'm just deleting all the tracks that do not have any automation in them anyway. Otherwise, Reason will complain, and maximize the space that I have. Here are those tracks, that everything fits here neatly on the screen. And then I take my usual screenshot of everything. Then I will save it now. Or before I'm going to save it, I have here this thing that is called Song Self-Contained Settings. This allows me now to add at least the samples that I found. Again, here with the NES drums, we do not know where they are. Maybe I can still find them. I'm still hopeful, because usually I keep these things around. So now I can save it, and now all the samples that have been found should be part of this 2026 save, so that when I open it in the future, I do not have to hunt down every last sample. Right. Oh, one last thing. I can save the MIDI events out of it, because they won't change anyway. So what I can hear now is probably this was a MIDI that I didn't make myself, that I downloaded somewhere. Let's skip ahead a little bit. So this I recognize now. Let's write this down. So this is, let's give it 2 stars because it doesn't look finished. This is another remix of the Descent main title that I've started in 2003, I think. Let's check. See, this is why I'm having here in my Notepad++, I have the same document open twice so that I don't lose my cursor when I'm looking for Descent. So this one was inspired by Descent. Creeper inspiration was the Descent or Descent 2 soundtrack. And at some point here, Descent, Doom-like from the title, I'd gather it was equally inspired by Descent. So this is from 2000. And here, 2002 live session inspired by the Descent soundtrack. And guitar play along. See, there's a lot of Descent cropping up here. Okay. A remix of the theme from Descent. So it's from 2005. By the way, when I'm referencing which things have inspired me, most of the time I'm able to track down the original composers. So that just in case that, again, I want to come back to something, that I do not have to do this again and again. And most of the time I know the composer off the top of my head. So it's from 2005 then, and not from 2003. That I've started in 2005. It even uses some of the sound fonts. What we do not hear are the NES drums. So this again here, now you can see here, there's a lot going on now here in the rec view than before. So one thing, again, because I want to fit this on a screenshot, and I do not like here that we have, on one hand I need to scroll and there is a big black hole on the other end. So whatever does not fit here on this one screen page, I just pick everything up and move it over to this part here. Then, of course, with some synthesizers or some effects, I need to expand them because it's important, the placement of the knobs, because they determine what it sounds like. I do not need to do this for the NNXT samplers because they are just samplers, and most of the time I didn't do anything, I didn't change anything here. I just imported them and opened them, and this is, yeah, what they were. So then when I flip it over, then we can see the cables and how everything is connected. So one thing that, again, I organized here nicely for a screenshot is, so this is my first mixer. This is the output or the input 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. So of course I want to have here that this first input here is also here the first one. So number 2 is up here. 3 is the one thereafter, 4, 5. This is all very good. Did I just disconnect 6 here? Yes, I disconnected 6, 7, and okay, so where is this scream? Where is this supposed to go? Okay, so it's an insert effect. So I'm not using this scream effect here on any instrument. Rather, I can just turn the knob here, number 3, for example, and then whatever is in this channel gets the scream. What I also see here is that I'm stacking 2 mixers now, which doesn't make things easier for me, but yeah, again, here we are. So the thing here with the missing samples is here that here the drum machine is using the NES samples. So this doesn't go anywhere, and the other samples are from this electronic kit 4. So I have here the open hi-hat NES, the cymbal NES, and the snare drum NES. Okay, let's figure this out. This cannot be too hard, can it now? Do I have an export of this song? Probably not. So then I have no way of knowing what the correct interpretation of this song is. So this means if I cannot recreate it, so my idea would have been to listen to the final export of the song and then figure out which NES wave I used, which sample, and then maybe find the source of this sample and rip this sample again, which is not possible. So I only can go by what it sounds like now. So just to make sure, I call this Descent 2008. And there was just nothing there. There was this MIDI file and the reason file that didn't have the samples in there. Okay, then. This means I can use my I don't feel now bad to use my own samples for this. So where are my own samples for this? Good question. I don't think that I've been using them lately. So this is when I didn't change something and I'm not using it, then especially when the space is tight in my Dropbox, then I delete it. So I have to go again and look for my packages. Here there is the NES Percussion Masters. And here we have all sorts of drums. If you're not versed in the nomenclature of drum samples, BD means bass drum, CB means, no idea what was CB. I don't remember. Oh, cowbell, of course. Then CS, no idea what CS was. See, I'm not using this, but HC is the hand clap, I think, or the hi-hat closed, either way, or hi-hat open. SD is the snare drum, and TM is the tom, the high toms, the low toms, and the mid toms, and WB is the wood block. So from this, so this means I do not have to listen to all these samples, so that I can pick one that fits. So I'm going to put this here into my music making folder under resources. Let's call samples, Amiga, synths. This probably percussion samples, and look at this, they already have my percussion masters. I didn't delete it after all then. So, and from these, let's just pick something that works here. So again, this one is called NES snare. So let's listen to NES snare drums. And oh, I just thought that I could paste here the file path, but I cannot. I have to navigate here manually, which is a bit of a bummer. But I mean, the other thing is you can search for, let's say, for categories or for tags, or you can even tag your samples yourself, which I have not done because, again, I'm a little bit worried that this is proprietary and all the tagging is in vain or has been for naught should I change software at some point. So instead, yeah, let's do it like this. So samples, percussion, and it's percussion master samples. Okay, so the first one was the snare drum. I'm just going here by SD, and now everything is filtered. And let's see here, autoplay, so that I can just find a nice snare. So the other thing that I just realized is that I'm using here in these square brackets, you can see is some sort of a shorthand. For example, T and N. This means this drum sound is composed of the triangle oscillator and the noise oscillator in the NES. And D means it's a digital sample. So this is, yeah, it's a 2-bit sample that they used. N means just noise. So this is what Capcom is doing for the early Mega Mans. Usually this triangle and noise, when you put this together, it has this nice ploppy snare sound. Especially Tim Follin is using this. So let's go here with, let's try here the Pictionary snare drum. What else do we need here? The symbol of the NES. How can I get to my recent? Probably not. Okay, so let's, oh, it was not just here, all locations, drums. Was that just here? No, probably wrong. Where was I? Resources. Probably I'm just using this wrong. Anyway, so that I do not have to find this again, I'm just giving here my samples to the shortcuts. So symbol or crash, was this CS maybe? Yeah, this one sounds vanilla too. Oh, this phaser, you know what? Sounds kind of neat. So this we crash and the open hi-hat of the NES. No, I do not want to sample what I'm just currently doing. No, undo. So samples and say OH. No, it was hi-hat open. Ho. Yeah, let's go with the Sunsoft one. And now when I play this song, we should hear the NES drums. And hopefully I picked good ones. So the drums should start here where it reads A2 and A3. Okay, now there is something going on there. I'm not sure if I like the hi-hat, but we can change it while the music is playing. Yeah, let's go with this one. So if I just solo this instrument now. Yeah, maybe I should jump back in the song where it's still playing. So this is not an NES bass drum, but our hi-hats are. Yeah, it always ends well when I'm trying. Thank you, Kersey, for acknowledging that there's music playing. Yeah, I think the Fallen One from Wolverine sounds nice. Could be a little bit louder even. Yeah, and with that, I think this is what the song was meant to sound like. It's not that good anyway. Yeah, so this was the music that I made 18 years ago. Wow, that's quite a while. Okay, cool. And so finally I can say, you know what? Let's make this self-contained with the samples that I have used. So, okay, so those, wait, hang on. Song self-contained settings, non-refill samples, uncheck. Interestingly, there are all these samples that we just sampled in there and not even been using. The good thing is it's 4 megabytes. This doesn't really matter. So, I mean, I can uncheck the ones that we're not using, but again, it's negligible. Maybe I need these samples in the future, who knows. So, going to save this now, and finally I can just listen to what it sounds here at the end, and then export the entire song as once. So let's call this again, Descent 2026 Mixdown. And again, let's see how fast this goes compared to Reason, to Audition, and we're done. We're done. This was, how long is this song here? 2 minutes. And yeah, just like this. All these tracks, all these samplers didn't even break a sweat. So then let's have a look here at the rack. It's a nice rack. So, and probably I need to again sort these things here so that it fits neatly there on one page. So this sampler goes from 1. Okay, good. So taking here a screenshot of everything with the current settings, then flipping the rack, screenshot. And now again for the individual stems that I'm going to export. So one thing is that we have here, for example, there is a filter animated. Probably I want to take this off when I'm exporting it. So now I'm not saving anymore. This is just for the export. So this is why it's fine, where I can just muck about with the things here. Of course, I do not want to change the pattern or delete the animation of the pattern change, because otherwise the drums would always play the same pattern. You can disable here the damage, the screamed sound destruction unit. What a lovely name. And all the other effects here. Anything that I've missed? No. And since I'm having here like two mixers here, I need to make sure that they all work in tandem. So, okay, the second mixer just gets the pass through here from the first mixer. So I shouldn't worry about this. Okay, so I only have to contend here with this mixer. And here I need to, again, disable all the effect sends. And since here from track 8, 9, 10, those aren't used anymore, I just pull here the fader down so that I know when I'm just exporting and not really looking what I'm exporting, that I know, okay, I do not need to export these. So the other thing is I turn off the equalizers on every track here and then center their panning on every track. And depending on the loudness, then I just make sure that everything sits around roughly here by 80. Maybe this smoke here, there was a reason why it was turned all the way up, so I'm going to keep this. The only important thing is that I do not want it to clip. And I think it says here when it clips, you can still see it here when I'm exporting. So this is what I'll be looking at. So, okay, so the first thing here is Scream 2. What is Scream 2? Where is this coming from? Scream 2 is coming from down here. And this feeds the input it gets here from this Dr. Rex sampler. And this Dr. Rex sampler is here. Oh, it's the tambourine. It's just a tambourine. So when I'm running this, at some point, yeah. So it's this track down here. That's just a tambourine. So I go File, Export Song, and since we have here below 10 songs, I do not need a leading 0. So 1, Dr. Rex, and the sample was called Temp 05A 120. Temp 15A 120. Export. And yeah, see how fast this is exporting. Amazing. So, same thing here for the next one. This is called noise. Where do we get the signal from? It's from this one here called just main noise. Okay, then File, Export Song. Where are we? 2NNXT main noise. So you might be wondering, gee, Phil, this is awfully tedious. And even the Adobe software had a way to export all tracks automatically, despite it taking like 10 times as long as it does here. Doesn't Reason have a function for this? And the answer is yes, it does have a function like this, where I can say here under File and bounce mixer channels. The only problem is, as you can see here, it says here just one mixer 2 just has here this one master section. And the problem of this is that Reason, they changed how they treat audio signals. So as you can see here in these first Reason versions, everything piped into this mixer here, and this mixer then went straight to the sound card's output. At some later point, I think with Reason 8 or 9, they introduced individual audio channels, which I can then easily export or bounce as individual tracks. But in this early version of Reason, this mixer is still be treated as it were a sound creator or a sound source of some sort, like the effects or like the virtual instruments. So this is why I have to do this rather tedious thing here for the first couple of years that I've been using Reason, until I finally get to a point where I can more or less automate at least parts of this process, which again, I'm very much looking forward to. So number 3 is going here into the subtractor, and this is just called Bread Bass. Export song as audio file 3, subtractor, Brad bass. I think I called it Brad, not bread. But I can change the file name anyway. So next track here is the JP Bass Pad. I think this is from a sound font. So export song file, and yes, I called it Brad Bass. That's a good name. So this is an NNXT for NNXT, and it was called JP Pad Peg. JP, where do we have it? Probably somewhere underneath here. The JP Bass Pad is the Synth X bass pad. Synth X bass pad. It's Synth Hex. Okay, Synth Hex bass pad. Ah, there we go. Oh, Senn is here. Music hype reason. Oof, I had a hard time getting used to that. Good evening, Phil in chat. Good evening, Alex. So wonderful of you to drop by here. Because, yes, what I've been doing today is exporting, liberating, rescuing my old songs. And with Alex, I made some songs also back in the day. Since we have Alex here, you know what? I hope I just don't forget where I was before. But anyway, let's have a look here in good old 2004, 2005. Because there are some things here. Look in covers. I got here a new one, Alex. I got here Cold Sun, an NBC cover. NBC's Neon Beige Camel. That's Alex Handel. So yeah, I still have some of these songs, and yeah, I tried my best to export them and just preserve them. So yeah, Cold Sun. That was a good one. Also a new one. Yeah, this. Dear chat, this is when Alex and we had our jam sessions back in the day. And yeah, so one thing that we did was we used, I think, Nuendo, right? Steinberg Nuendo. And the problem is those are the songs that I cannot rescue because I do not have Nuendo anymore. Because Nuendo is like $1,000 nowadays that you have to pay for it. And back then, let's say... we found ways that we didn't have to pay for it. And I didn't use it for very long, but the only issue is now I do not have it anymore because I do not hang on to, let's say, files that are potentially incriminating. Also because of all the keygen viruses and so on. So yeah, Nuendo says, and almost forgot about that. Yeah, the other thing that, of course, I've shown the chat is I still have the good old boxes. And as for Nuendo, didn't I have it just before here, or did I drop it? Unicorns, where did you put it? Oh, it's this one. At least I got the Cubase box because again I need to find this software to be able to open all these things. So yeah, it's nice. It's really good timing of you to drop by. Oh yeah, by the way, if you might be interested in what my thoughts were on let's say Cold Sun. So there we have it, or rather Cold Sun unfinished, or rather never started. Another NBC cover attempt. The work only has two samples. Has the two samples on top of each other. Don't bother. Oh, I'm sorry. Probably thought I had something more to say at some point. Oh yeah, this is a new one. A cover of my civilian's buddy, Alex Köhler, whose music making went by the name of NBC. See, this is why and your influences were Creed and Muse. I hope I got this right. This is what I want to ask you since I have you here. Good old times. So let's get back to our descent here. So I made sure that at least I found replacements for the samples that we couldn't find. Have here saved the screenshots, and right now I'm exporting all the stems individually because why make things easy on ourselves? So I exported the bass pad. Next is the wall pad. Where does the wall pad connect to? 5 connects to, oh, it says here wall pad, and this is long wall W. Okay, file, export 5 NNXT long wall W. And it exports so quickly. There we go, Wicked. This was one of my synthesizers that I made with probably one of my first attempts at making a sound font. So to make a sound font, essentially, yeah, it works like a sampler. You get a sample, and then you place it somewhere on the keyboard, and then it gets automatically pitched up and down depending on where you are or where you play. And of course, sometimes when it starts to sound not very realistic anymore, then of course you record a better sample or a dedicated sample for the higher notes or the lower notes and so on. I didn't know this back in the day, so I just used one sample and just had a very short note and that looped. And so this is what I called here my octaver, and let's see if I can play just a couple of notes. I do not have my keyboard hooked up, but there should be the on-screen keyboard, if I can find it. On-screen piano keys, there we go. So just so you know what this sounds like. So the Wicked, there we go. So this sounds probably more like when your computer is about to crash, right? So you're listening to something, some sound playing, and suddenly it just stops and then crashes, right? So I'm not sure if this was my inspiration, but it certainly got the same thing of a hung buffer. Senn says everything right. Yeah, Creed and Radiohead right, and 2026 and still listening. Right, I also still... you know you're old when you still listen to the old bands, when you still listen to the same music that you listened to 20 years ago. I hope you found something new in between, by the way. But yeah, Radiohead for me as well. Didn't we listen to Tom York's first solo album back then at your place? Ah, good times. So the Wicked Synth. Did I export the Wicked Synth? I did not. Export 6NNXT Wicked Octaver. And finally the NES drums. And then we're through with this song. File export. 7 redrum NES drums. Right, and that's it with the clean export. I do not even need to save this, hopefully. And let's look at what we got. So we got the MIDI file, the new version of the project, and the mixdown, and then all the individual tracks. So let's put this here to Reason, and let's make sure that everything exported correctly. So these are just the NES drums, and they're very close to clipping here, very close to clipping. But look at this. It's not peaking. It's just not peaking. So we're all good. Maybe I should have saved it before just closing. So if I put everything here in Audacity on top of each other, it should sound much like what we've heard before, just without the effects. And again, this makes it possible to recreate this song, or just parts of this song, or just figure out how I made this song again, just independently of whether Reason still works or not. So those are just the tambourines. Yeah, so I mean, this is very low in volume, but it's fine. It's fine. I exported this at 24 bits precision, so hopefully this shouldn't lose too much when I upscale it. Yeah, the list extended by now, says Senn. And yeah, we did listen to Tom York's solo album, which was also amazing. Yeah, it was so much good music. So the only downside is, of course, since I'm storing this all in my Dropbox, all these WAV files clock in at 281 megs, but converty, and everything is now a FLAC, and it's 61 megabytes. And lossless compression. And because you've seen it here on the stems with some tracks like here, this Octaver, this Wicked Synth, there is lots of just silence there between what it plays, and this compresses very well. So this entire track here is like 2.9 megabytes, and the mixdown, the export of the same length, is 20 megabytes, of course, because there's more happening. But again, I like FLAC. I really do like it. So this we got finished. So let's bring everything here, exports and stems, And this is Descent 2008. And since this is a remix of a song, of a game, I call it the game in parentheses, move it to remix, and let's head over to the next one, Dojo. Okay, this is from December 14th. That's cute. So where's my diary? There we go. Dojo, not Dojo. Dojo, 2008, December, what did we say? 13th, 14th. 14th, reason, no idea whether it's good or not. Let's find out. Wrong folder. Copy. Paste. Oh, damn it. And again, we have certain samples that did not translate. And this is interesting because, again, this is a sound font that I use. But the device is called shakuhachi, which is this Japanese whistle, well, it's not flute, more like this big flute. But the sound font that I'm using is the Kuhn violin by Tex. And this I, again, sampled from an actual violin that somehow I inherited. I didn't have it for long because I cannot play the violin, especially not self-taught. So I was just barely able to make some scratching noises that vaguely landed on some actual notes there. So this is my violin that I had. And the good thing is I know where this is. I can find it here in resources, sound fonts, own strings, and there we have violins by Tex. Oh, here in this case, the Kuhn violin. And all the missing sounds have been resolved. Beautiful. Yeah, text sound. Senn remembers. Right. Yeah, this was... I had a couple of names for my music making persona. So Seth Carissa, you might know. Before that, it was text sound. I don't know why. And it with the 2 X's, it was very 90s. And before that, I shit you not, I called myself DJ Alpha, but with all upper caps, but the A, which was a lowercase a, or if you were fancy, it was the Greek alpha sign. So it was DJ Alpha Alpha. Yeah, it's cringe. Jesus, time flies. Indeed, it does. By the way, I also, Senn, I also found our CV game sketches again, couple of weeks back. It was nice. So this is called Dojo, and what's happening here? Just some Oriental Asian pastiche and not a lot happening here. Interestingly, see, this is the shakuhachi. This is the violin that was never used. Let's see if we can still listen to the samples. Where was the on-screen piano? There we go. So let's see. Yeah, very, very, let's say, trembly in the tone. So, yeah. But since this is part of the song, and I don't know whether at some point I will be just lucky that this is embedded in it, I say song self-contain, and I will add all these samples. It's just a couple of megabytes. It's fine. And save this now. As Dojo 2026 save. So now I know what the song is. It's one of my many Oriental / Asian sounding pentatonic pastiches. Thigh. I mean, it's not too bad, but still it's not that good. So I give it 2 stars and say, yeah, it's unfinished, or rather not really started. Save. Good. Okay, so let's do what I always do. I saved everything. Let's take a screenshot. Screenshot everything on this. Yes. Then select everything. Export as MIDI file. Good. And export a mixdown as 2026 mixdown. this should be relatively fast. Senn says, speaking of music, do you remember the guitar they had at the fire station? I wonder if it's still there. Oh yes, I remember. Our only friend, we joked, if I recall correctly. Oh yes, I remember this guitar. I haven't thought about it a long time, but I think this was one of the reasons later on why I got myself the very first crappy Yamaha Pacifica before I got finally in 2007 the good old Epiphone Les Paul Classic. By the way, did you know that William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, started a metal band and they call themselves the Fuckers or something? And he was posing, I mean, the guy is now 95 years old and he was posing with a Les Paul Classic guitar. And I thought, you know what? I have the same guitar. You know what? I hope I can show you. I can't believe that I'm typing in William Shatner, the Fuckers. Probably I should make this stream now 18 plus or something. So yes, this guy is 95 old, and I said, "Oh my God, that's my guitar." Well, it's not quite my guitar. I mean, his one's a Gibson, and mine is an Epiphone. So it's but yeah, still rocking. Damn, yeah. See, so you're never too old to start your metal band. We still got a couple of years. So, did I export the MIDI file of just yet? Let's see. So I have here the screenshot of everything, and here in my export, yes, I have even the mixdown, right? And I wanted to check whether the mixdown was peaking or clipping. No, it did not clip. Good. So let's get back to it and let's look at the rack. And there are many unused instruments there, so just to make some room, let's bring them over. Yeah, still not enough room there on my screen. I mean, this is a 4K screen that still have to be very... I mean, I can close here the hardware interface and maybe the master section. So now the redrum fits on this page here. And since the NNXTs, I didn't change them anyways, I can just collapse them. And so, yeah, I called me playing the the violin Kuhn Amateur, because I'm really that it. So let's have a look. So the one, this is the first, this is the second, is on top. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so everything is routed one after the other, which I like. Let's take screenshots and see what Alex says. I remember a song from you called Mute City or something. I like that one. I still have, oh yes, on one of my hard drives. And yeah, Mute City, by the way, that's a song from F-Zero. And I think, I'm not sure if I made the cover, or a good friend of mine who's also sometimes part here of the stream. I Like Sci-Fi, Jürgen Brunner, who also made this Mute City, for which I made the sound, not the soundtrack, the music video. Okay, so tangent time. We're off on a tangent right now, because I have to go to YouTube and ask Alex if that's the song that you're talking about, because then it's not mine. Yeah, the video. Okay, that one. Yes, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Yeah, because the song, right, is from Jürgen. 5 years ago was the last upload to my very first YouTube channel. And since I'm using ad blockers, I cannot view my own videos anymore, because Chrome or Google wants to bully you into watching ads and so on. So all good. By the way, if anyone is interested in this video, I mean, you know what, I can watch it in Chrome. There shouldn't be an ad in front of it anyway. And this is the HD version of the video that I also rendered a couple of years back. Yeah, it's a pretty song, right? That's really nice. So, and the video was where the video is responding to what's happening on the soundtrack. Hopefully, let's. And then the sun rises. So essentially the drum track is the passing street signs and road signs. didn't quite work. Was a lot of work, by the way. After Effects, the early version of After Effects, didn't quite survive it, or at least gave me lots of trouble and headaches just to be able to finish this. Right, okay, so we have all the screenshots that I can put there. I have the MIDI and I have the mix down, and now the same old, just export the tracks. So here in the sequencer, okay, am I using the reed drum? Yes, I'm using the reed drum. Am I using the shamisen? I do not. Can delete this. I'm not using the violin. So now all I have to do is 4 tracks that I need to export, which makes it much more manageable. So first, as always, bypass all the effects there for the clean export. Any effects up down here? No, no, no. The sense, I mean, not the sense, the returns I turn off. Then center all the pan. No equalizers on. Good. Everything is here roughly at 100. Good. Okay. Usually I have to make sure that the drums aren't peaking, but yeah, the bar is here of the yellow, this of the bass bar, so we should be fine. Export song as audio file 1, reed drum, and it's called the Obex kit. Always think Obelix kit. Obex kit. Next one is just called bass. Where does it sit? And that's pretty much the entire figure. So where does this come from? It's the DX bass, I think, this one here. Yes, note on corresponds to what I'm hearing. So, export song to Malmström. X bass. So then we have the violoncellos marcato. So those are the strings. Here, so this is already track 4 because I deleted whatever was in track 3 because it wasn't used anyway. So file, export song 4, NNXT, VCSS, mark. And finally we have our Glockenspiel 3.0. 5, NNXT, Glockenspiel 3.0. There we go. I have to look at the old photos now when we're doing our civil service. Maybe I can still see the old guitar. I can spot it somewhere. Okay, before I close the project now, let's examine quickly all the tracks there in Audacity. I want to say Audition, Audacity, Adobe, everything is called the same. So that's the mix down, and we got here our individual tracks. Looks like everything is here. Then I can close the project, don't need to save it. And again, convert the waves to flags. Bam. This really, coming up with these kinds of scripts, it saves me so much time that I don't have to do this manually, because you can see how much work this is anyway manually. So, okay, I need first my folders. So setups reason. This is an export. These go to reason. And what I have here are the stems. There we go. And Dojo is done. And it's a sketch, right? It's a sketch. And we got Electric Scrubs 2008. And I have, again, an idea what this is, because it's a bit like with Descent. This is also a remix that I started like 3 times already, because it's a remix of the Dr. Mario. So let's see. Dr. Mario. Where can I find it? So the Doctor is here, Electric Scrubs. In 2005, I started this. So apparently 3 years later, I thought, you know what, I give it another shot. So Electric Scrubs 2008. So early 2008, I thought, you know what, let's do this old song again. I give it 2 stars and probably have to, take 1 off. This is that year's attempt at remixing Dr. Mario's what was it? Fever, I think. No, it was Chill by Hirokatsu Tanaka. And anything else I have to look at. Same old, and we got here lots of things that aren't there. Again, this looks to be, yeah, it's from the sound font Electric Percussion 2. So good that I'm opening up all these. Don't search, oh no, I clicked the wrong one. Please don't search everywhere. I know where you need to search. Resources, come on. Come on, there we go. Sound fonts, percussion, and in there should be EDEC percussion. And yes, everything has been found. Good. That's how I like it, when you can find everything. So, song self-contain. Add everything that we just added there and save it. As Electric Scrubs 2008, 2026 save. Oh my god. Time flies, indeed. Senn said, yeah, you made the street road signs show up alongside the rhythm of the song. That's why I still have it in mind. I was mind blown back in the day. It was like magic to me. Total noob. It was lots of work, and I would probably do things differently nowadays. Because I remember that the road, the reason why there is this foggy road is because this was before we had HD television. So the road patch was like 4K texture. And After Effects just wouldn't allow me to place like 4K patches next to each other or behind each other, because then it would crash. So I had to use like in the old PlayStation games, lots of fog there just to limit the draw distance so that I could still export this. So what is Electric Scrubs? Yes, this looks like a MIDI file. And let's delete again all the unused control channels. And yeah, that's it. Again, it looks like a sketch that I never really finished or got around to do anything with it. As I said, magic, fog. Yeah. Yeah, the first part here in the beginning, it sounded like it was half a measure of. I mean, I'm not changing it, but that's how it went. Yeah, it's not a very good remix. So I can just take these off and let's screenshot this. Did I screenshot? No. Screenshot. Zoom to fit. Yes, everything is there. Export a MIDI file of the MIDI file that I imported to create this song. But yeah, this is just for completion's sake. And export a mixdown. At 2026 mixdown. By now you know my routine that I have in this. So this is again what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks now, and I will continue until I've caught up. Again, there is a silver lining on the horizon that my output of songs, the amount of songs that I made each year just went slowly down. So again, things should be getting a little bit faster. So here my rec view is showing lots of things, but not all of them have been connected up. Like these 3 gray things here, this means nothing is in there. They just exist because there is a track there on the sequencer, but there's nothing in there. So how is this organized? Let's see. So 1 goes here, 2 goes to subtractor that we can put here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yes, this makes sense. Then we can bring them here. Screenshot and screenshot from the back. And the usual, deleting all the unused tracks. That was quick. And disabling all the... I mean, do I need to bypass this? So the drums, really, they don't have anything to them. They always just repeat the same pattern. So... I didn't hear anything that's changed. Oh, damn it. I just realized it that I had here the subtractors. I didn't screenshot the subtractors. And since I just deleted a bunch of stuff, so yeah. I have to do this again. Don't save. Ah, crap. So I can delete also the screenshots. So let's look at this again. So the rec, that was the thing that I messed up. So I need to expand here the subtractors. Yes, okay. Okay, close this so that we see all of the redrum. Okay, so let's do this again. Screenshot, and delete the unused tracks. Then I'm going to delete all the automations. Or maybe not the bend and modulation things, probably just the level. Otherwise, I'm just thinking of, okay, if I just have the audio track of it and I want to recreate it, and of course, if there are effects like something wobbliness for the synthesizer and so on, these are much harder to recreate. But of course, if I need to change the levels, that's much easier. Or this is something that I probably would want to change. So this is why I just took off the level automation, but kept here the pitch and the modulation wheel automation. So it's just some more effects to deactivate. And again, to be safe, just turning down all the returns. Just pulling those down. So we get here 7 tracks. Center the panning. Disable the EQs. Roughly center, but yeah, good. Again, the redrum here sounds like it's half a measure off, but anyway. So, okay, let's get started here on track 1. Where does this connect to? And it connects to this NNXT, and this is just called init patch. What is init patch doing? Oh, nothing. It just sits down here without doing anything. So I can delete those 2 as well. And now we only have 4 tracks to export. That's much less hassle. So see, and now this label here is empty. So I do not need this one and I do not need that one. So I can just mute them so that I see with first glance that I don't have to care about them. Okay. Delay 2. It's that subtractor, because the node on is blinking where I need it to blink. Good. Okay. File. No. Windows, please. Not now. Okay. So this is track 2, lane 2, subtractor, lead. Then we have the high synth. What is that? Yeah, it's that. So back to the rec. High synth. Okay. 3 subtractor. Maybe I should just copy subtractor that I don't have to type it out every time. High synth. Senn says, "Oh, redrum. I had a love/hate relationship with that one." Oh yes, I can feel you. Never really figured out how to create natural sounding drums. Yeah, the thing is, you don't. That is why they introduced the Kong. If you remember this, this was really such a revelation, because I had the same thing where I have this one song. I can show you now. Now I have a very good overview of all the songs that I have, and can access them off the top of my head. So I had this one song that I really liked. This was for the Sacred Tree soundtrack. So the drums sound like they come from a drum machine and not someone actually playing the drums, because you have this very machine-like repetitiveness in it. And if you wanted variations in there, you really had to work for them. So, Alex, I totally feel you. I was never happy with that. And as soon as I finally had access to the Kong drum designer in later versions, was it Reason 5 or 6? Probably, you know what? I can look it up. I think it was Reason 5 that had the Kong. I mean, they would write it. Yes, there we have it. In this version, this thing here is the Kong drum machine. So they were so happy and so glad in version 5 to have the Kong there that they even put a screenshot on top. So this was this synth. What is this one? Is just called Square Layer. This one will compress very nicely. For subtractor Square Layer. The other one is called Melody Synth, okay? And that's it for this song. 5 Melody Synth. Good. Let's double check that I have everything that I need. So I'm here in the wrong folder, of course. 2008, and this one was called Electric Scrubs. There we go. This needs to go in the setups reason folder. Same thing here. Let's check the mix down. Okay, levels looking good. Let's check the stems. I forgot to export the drum machine. This is why I always need to check what I just did. Yeah, because I stopped here and we still have here this track 7, the redrum. There we go. Okay. Good thing that I didn't close it this time. Redrum Dublab, what's it called? Dublab Tight Kit 1. Alex says, I even thought a DG drum set I even bought a DG drum set just to figure out my left hand could never do other movements than my right hand. And don't even ask about what my feet, oh dear. Yeah, I have a huge respect for everyone who's able to play the drums because, again, yeah, this entire coordination thing, I want to say I never mastered it, but I never even started in any. I mean, I'm glad that I can drive a car and can stick shift without going into this direction where I'm shifting, but I think that's about it. So, yeah, and don't talk about the feet. I mean, some people can play the bass and sing, for example, Les Claypool from Primus. Some people can play the drums and sing, and I cannot even talk while I'm strumming chords on the guitar. So, yeah, some people are way ahead of me. So let's try again. Yes, drums are here. Good, we have the export and compress everything down from 100 megabytes to 40. We got the stems. I call this Electric Scrubs, Dr. Mario. And this is a remix. So Happy Ellbow. Oh, I remember this one. I had somewhat an inflation in my joint in my elbow, and I was so happy once it finally got sorted out that I played Happy Ellbow, because then I could play the guitar again. Senn says, yeah, those aren't humans, I swear. Yeah, Les Claypool. I mean, just look at Les Claypool play the bass and then he starts singing. It's yeah, incredible. So Happy Ellbow with 2 L's. Maybe I should just call it Happy Ellbow, but yeah. Happy Ellboy. So when was this happy time? 6/22 to 24. So where did I record this? Apparently since Okay, we have here a session and Frets on Fire. Does anyone know what Frets on Fire is? If not, I will I just finish here quickly what I was typing, and then we'll let you know. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so it was an Audition project, and let's say here I had an inflammation. Is this how you type it? Inflation. I had an achy joint elbow joint and couldn't play the guitar for a couple of days. And when it was gone, I was so happy that I made this song. Also, there's a Frets on Fire folder there, meaning I started modding Guitar Hero or it was Rocksmith. No, it was Guitar Hero with my own songs at the time. So this is what I did. This Frets on Fire is an editor for Guitar Hero and Rocksmith. So example, yeah, you can, if you have your or a song that you can rebuild it. And the cool thing about Guitar Hero was you had separate tracks for the guitar and the rest of the song. So of course, when you were playing it and you didn't match a note or something, then yeah, also the guitar track would not play this note. So it was like you were really feeling that you were playing it. So this is the solo and this is the rest of the song. So okay, so here in song are only the chords. And on top we have the guitar. Okay, now this makes sense. So guitar, song. So which one is which? So song, just chords, and this is song, just guitar, and the other thing is combined. So I made this happy rock song, so just so that I know what kind of song it is. Happy rock song. Right, so this is an Audacity project, which means the session file needs to be converted with my converter. And bam, there it is. It's the sex file. And then we have an export here that is Happy Elbow, and the rest here is part of these samples for Audition. Save. And let's open this. Jiří is here, and Jiří is gone and says, gotta go, good night and have fun. Thank you, Jiří, for sticking around, and I hope you also have a good night and have a good week. Yeah, it's already getting late, so I'll continue for another half an hour, and then I will also call it a night. So, where are the missing files? Audition asks, and I know where they are, but I'm also telling you, Audition. Apparently, ooh, I have here a hi-hat start. It's this, and I think I made a couple of those, and I don't have it. I don't have this one anymore, but it's okay, because it's here just here for the beginning. But hey, where are my others? Really, Audition, you won't let me open it if one sample is not found. Let's try this again. So apparently I can either link all of them or one. So what can I do? Well, I know where this, not that I still have it. I think, you know what? I think I still might be able to find the sample. Senn says, oh man, somehow I had the same creative titles. I once tried to record a guitar solo, a song, but my pinky finger always moved to the wrong fret. It took me 2 hours to get the record right. Oh no. So named the song, Will You Please Follow the Instructions, Mr. Pinky? I mean, those song names, those are the best, because they rarely make it onto your final album, but you have them around for like 80 to 90% of the time until it's time where you feel like, okay, this song is really looking good and getting good, and I can't, the title is just embarrassing. I need to come up with a better title, and then you come up with a title and it's the last thing that you do with the song. And maybe the song is called, I don't know, Flames of Fire, but internally, yeah, it's the Pinky song. It's the Pinky song. Oh, thank you for sharing this. That's a really nice nice little anecdote. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can figure this out, but I probably cannot. So, okay, plan B. Audition will not start if we do not provide it this hi-hat start 160 BPM, and I know exactly what it is, and I think I can even extract it there from the song. So, Happy Elbow. We have here the Frets on Fire tracks, and here in the, was it just the chords? It's this. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, make sure that at the end we don't have a sample there of things that we do not want, like this. And then I just call it whatever Audition wants to find. So what was it? Hi-hat start 160 BPM. Okay, I'm not typing this. I'm using here my OCR tool so that I can just open this up and say, hey, what is the scale factor? And yes, I don't have to type it. See, I'm this lazy that I have a tool for this. Export. Don't save. And it's on my desktop. So copy and paste. And there you go. See? Not complaining anymore, but I closed my view. So hopefully I can reset the workspace. There we go. Okay, good. I do not need this panel here. See, didn't complain at all. Yeah, and this was essentially not really that interesting to do or to make, because again, I have literally the tracks on top of each other. So one thing that when I export, see there's already some peaking going on, so I need to make sure that when I'm exporting this, we don't have any peaking, because I cannot understand why for the longest time I was never concerned with, yeah, the waveform is completely peaking, probably I should do something about it. I just took it for granted, or it wasn't a concern for me. And again, nowadays I feel like, yep, keep your signal clean, keep the noise low, and don't clip the signal. But yeah. So again, this is what I want to at least address now. So I need to just find the mixer. Where is it? Mixer, Alt and Tool. So where is my master output? I think this is my master output. So that I just pull it down far enough that I can work with it. Okay, good. So export everything as, oh, well, first we save it. Do you want to copy this? No, I do not want to copy this. So export as OMF file. Please use not the default preset, but my preset. Export, and then you will complain that some, okay, this time it did not complain, thankfully. And let's do this again as a multi-track mixdown entire session. And again, make sure that all the tracks are selected. And then wait for this crappy piece of software render 1.5 minutes 3 times. Cheers, by the way. Useless software. Okay, saved, and I got here everything that I need. So just move things over. This is setups Audition. Then we have samples. Oh, we have the stems. And we have the final exported mixdown. And it's done. And was this a sketch? No, I would say it was a short. Let's go here with short. Oh, Kansas Girl. That's a big one. This is one of my first real songs. Well, it was not that real. it started out as a satire of a country song. So yeah, there was a lot in there, and I even had here Yot, who made the Mute City. I had him even here record the lyrics to it. So, and I still have here the lyrics. See, this is how it went. So I was driving down the interstate. I saw your dad's farm with the open gate. It's so fun when Austrian people write American country songs. Yeah, that's a ton of files indeed. But most of this is, this PK, those are just the sidecar files. Sidecar files. So again, I also made here a Frets on Fire version of this. But actually, look at me here. I even made a zip file just in case something gets broken. Oh, this was for Jogel, for Yot, so that he has here the drums and the lyrics and the tabs. Look at me. I really was very organized with this one. Okay, Kansas Girl. So I just write down what I told you. So when was the last export acoustic version? Because this was started here, the tabs in May, apparently. Yes, May. Play along. It started here with the play along. And then it went on until Western. Okay, so I had probably, I think I was finished here. And then I got my Western guitar sometime that year. Yes, this was with the Western guitar. And this was with the Les Paul. Okay, so we got a couple of versions in there. So first, let me write this down. 2008, from May 13 to 2000, not 8, 2000 and, yes, 2008, not 2005. What am I typing? 2008 until, let's say, Kansas Girl guitar acoustic version 1. Yeah, that's right up until December.
Girl, your eyes were so green and your skin was so white. Kansas girl, Kansas girl.
Cute. So yes, this was Yot singing with my guitar playing in December of 2008. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is Reason and Audition. I always want to say Audacity, Audigy. It really. I have to peek here at my icons to know. Okay, it's called Audition, and when I'm completely messed up, I will call it Goat. So actually, that's a nice song. I give it 3 stars out of 5. So Nomonera says, I didn't know you were good at guitar playing. Oh, thank you for calling it good. I mean, I'm decent at guitar playing, but I learned a lot thanks to the first YouTube tutorials. So I think Travis picking, yes. So here in 11:23, say here, Travis picking technique I taught myself through YouTube. This would later show up in Kansas Girl. There we go. So Travis picking. So see, this was in November. So let's listen to the first Western guitar songs. Are they already with Travis picking? No. No, this was not the Travis picking. So apparently I learned this later, and here in the guitar version, probably there is no Travis picking. No, apparently, yeah, I learned Travis picking around that time. And yeah, I'm completely self-taught if that's what you're asking. And yeah, I've been practicing. I mean, my first guitar, just in case you're curious, my first guitar, okay, so this was Software Instruments. First guitar around 2000. So I've been mucking about with guitars for 26 years now. And I've never been really good at it, or any good. I know that with enough practice, and if I just keep at it for a couple of weeks, I do get better, but then I forget it for 2 months or something and don't practice or play anything at all, and then I always fall back to the same level that I've been at for like 15 years now. So my curve was like, oh, I can play the guitar, oh, it's not that hard, oh, it gets much harder, and then I'm just always oscillating up and down. But yeah, thank you for being surprised. Okay, Kansas Girl Audition. Okay, there's a lot to write. So it started out as a satire of a country song, and the first version I played on the electric guitar, parentheses, Les Paul Classic. Later that year, I got my first Western guitar and did another recording of it. Parentheses, when was this? 2008. Oh, 7/11. There we go. Then this zip file where I said this is for yacht to sing. So this was modified in, oh, look at this, 5. So that's May 12th. Neat. Okay, so apparently, yeah, May 13th, May 12th, I already had something. And another recording. My good friend Jürgen J/Jogel Brunner supplied the voice for it. Neat. Senn says he is good at playing guitar. Don't listen to what he said. Oh, thank you. Well, not as good as you. Not as good as you, Alex. This I realized when I listened to the NBC covers again, where I realized that you had so many nice little figures in there with Cold Sun and what was the other one that I really liked. So do you have any inclinations of getting back to playing guitar or making songs? Because again, with the influence of Creed and Muse and Radiohead and so on, you really had something there. NBC, which was the other one? So a new one, I think this was yeah, Cold Sun and Roses, that was also good. So those were my favorites. The new one, a new one, Cold Sun and Roses. If you still got them. I mean, in case you don't have them, okay, I hope I'm not promising something that I do not have. But NBC Roses, maybe. Yes, look at this. Still got these. Yeah, nice. Right, okay, so quick finishing of this, and now I just said quick finishing, and then it's this folder here. Okay, so let's split this up first. So I sorted this by date modified. So we start here with the Kansas Girl play along, where I'm just exploring the song, and up until here on the 19th, I had here this session where I think I recorded everything. And then we had it here with no voice. Pre-test. Is this with a voice already? The drums here, by the way, are again the annoying drum machine, because again, we didn't have anything else and it sounds not very natural. Senn says, damn, I'm famous now. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But yeah, I'd like to play again. Time, yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. It's the time is the issue. So no voice, and then we have test 3. So, by the way, No Monero, if you want a more guitar playing by yours truly that is old, I remastered recently a song that I also made around this time. And if you head over to sefcarissa.com and listen to Sef's catalog, hi, this is me looking very threatening there. There is the song Soulmate, and this again is from 2009, so around this time when I was recording. And here we had the lyrics from Tina, who was also on the same campus, and we were just loose friends, and she had an amazing singing voice, and so I asked her.
I miss you, I love you, I cry to a fall. United we were, hearts of a whole.
And this is the same Western guitar that you can hear that I was using for the first time here with this Kansas Girl. Right, okay, so we have here the Western guitar, the first one. On July 10th. So let's make a note here. Instruments 27, Ibanez guitar, Western guitar, around July 10th. Safe. Because I've realized that oftentimes I thought, hey, when did I get this camera? I mean, the exact date, or what phone did I have like in this instance? Because again, I'm a tech nerd, and same thing goes for instruments or software. This is why I started here, since I was going through my songs anyway. This is why I started really writing this all down. So just for myself, that I can, place everything in a timeline, because time flies, you forget things, you mix things up, and it's again it feels nice to finally have the overview of everything. So okay, this was, let's go with Kansas Girl 1 parentheses March to July, or it was not July, it was June. Then we have Kansas Girl 2, that is July, with the Western guitar. So I have here in July from Western 1 through Western 3B, apparently. What is the difference? So this is 3B, this is the last one. Okay, I don't see a difference there, but I think those are just different recordings then. Because when we look at the file date, see, this is why I hang on to the file date. So I recorded this in the evening. Then the next day, around noon, I tried it again, and 3/4 of an hour later, and then a couple of minutes later, and so essentially I just played this in one sitting with and slept in between. So then we have here Yacht Acoustic Pre, and I think this is
back in the fall of 1998,
where I have Yacht's singing voice here returned to me. Or did I already have his voice here somewhere? No voice, no voice. Voice guitar. Okay, so that's just the lead guitar. Other variations maybe. Yes, you mean here the different, apparently, yeah. I mean, I have here the solo, and then just couple of attempts or different takes on it. So let's put this. No, this was the wrong folder. Abort. March to June. What's this June? So March. Start here from. No, this is not March. This is May. We go from May to July. Oh, okay. The first one was March to June. And this is May. Now I'm completely. Where did I put things? Okay, so we have here May. Okay, I need to sort it by date. So, okay, we start here with May, and then we have here, right, about 1 month where nothing happened, and I will pick up from there. So this is July, June to July, and the first one is here, May to June. Okay, there we go. Then we got some album art that I don't need. Then we got here the Frets on Fire session and the Kansas Girl 2 session and the acoustic version from December. So, Kansas Girl, August to December. Good. And now finally that I have these things. Okay, probably here this session in September is one of the latest ones. So let's put it here, Kansas Girl 3. Oh, the singing voice. I think I probably have here in the yacht folder because yes, this is where what he sung. And we got even here tracks. Oh, I think this is from one of these audio recorders, but it did not record a file date or anything. That's very peculiar, but I still have here the export here of track 2. So this is from July. So Kansas Girl, what?
Kansas girl, Kansas girl.
Right, this is where you tried different arrangements. So good. So we can move this to June to July. Good. And the Frets on Fire track is from September. Good. Okay, I think we've somewhat organized this. So this here is the first version with the drums and the lyrics and pretty much the foundation of the song is here. I mean, I get even the tabs here. Remembered. There we go. But no, do not save this because again, I want to keep the file date intact. This was a close one. See, this is the downside of being a perfectionist. You fix a typo you made 20 years ago and yeah, things go awry. So let's make here a folder called Documents, because in this folder I put here the lyrics and the tabs. And to save myself from myself, I will say here in the properties that it's read-only. So just in case that I open it up in Notepad++ and do exactly what I just did, that I cannot because it will complain that this is write protected. Good thinking, Phil. Usually, I mean, not usually, maybe I should have done this with all these files. Now, anyway, let's continue. Okay, so this here is a session, and a session means that it's an Audacity, not Audacity, it's an Audition project that goes here. Then the rest are samples, unless, of course, they are finals. How can I tell which is which? Oh, and there we got a Reason project in there as well, setups Reason. And those are these very mechanical, repetitive drums in there. So, play along. 1, layout, no solo. Layout, I think this is... So just that I know, okay, I need 2 measures in C and then 1 measure in E minor and so on, and repeat it for 2 times and then have the bridge there. So this is what I mean with layout and song timing. So that I have the structure, the scaffolding of the song, so that I know when I'm playing over and over the same chords that I don't forget 1 measure, because when I'm playing the solo, then suddenly things fall apart. So I just say, hey, everything here is a sample. Everything here is a sample. And then let's open it up here in Audition. We'll first convert the file for Audition and then see what I just did. Okay, so 4 out of 4 files could not be found. Link media, it's not a biggie. Probably should here all be in samples. Good, look, everything connected beautifully. So, screenshot. First thing, of course, always make a screenshot. No, this was a tiny screenshot. Screenshot. Good, we got a screenshot. Then. So those are the drums that I've cut up. They are very loud. Probably I need to turn this down because when it's getting mixed with the voice and the chords, yeah, then we're peaking. Why, Phil? Why did you never care? So window mixers, there it is. Yeah, this should be fine. Or here's a loud part. It's in the reds, but it's still okay. Maybe turn it down slightly further. Okay, good. So we have this session here. Let's save it as Kansas Girl. Save 2026. Please do not move my files or in any way mess with them. So file, export, OMF. Oh, of course, and then we have to wait while we export all the tracks individually, because again, this track is like 3 minutes long, 3 minutes 40. And this program is not made to export audio. Multi-track mix down entire session. Oh, I forgot that when I export it to an OMF, as always, I have first to select here my presets to Phil's conversion. So let's do this again. Yes, overwrite it. And yes, Connie is about to go to bed. So this means I will close it for today. So just that in the background that this one can export. But hey, everyone, thank you so much for indulging me, for being present while I've been doing these boring things and exporting stuff. So let's get here this last export started, because we all know it's going to take a while. Anyway, again, thank you everyone for being here, for chatting. As always, it's so nice to see people like Alex again in the stream, because we haven't seen each other face to face in decades, I think. Sometimes, I mean, the biggest exchange we have is like this now. So maybe, Alex, if you find the time, maybe hit me up on WhatsApp or something, or I think Telegram, Signal. I think I should have everything. And maybe we find the time to go for a coffee at some point, hopefully within the next 10 years or something. Senn says, thanks for the stream, Phil, and all the good memories. Have a good night. Bye, chat. And also Kirsty says, productivity. So sounds like you were productive while I was just yapping and doing my old... reliving my past with all of you. I will, I promise. Thank you. Wonderful. In that case, again, it was really nice. Who would have thought that this kind of more or less boring, just moving files about thing can be so nice. And it was really nice sharing with you. And I hope you have a wonderful week. And the next stream is planned for 8 days from now. So it's Sunday, but not tomorrow, but the week thereafter. And I hope by then I will have caught my breath, because next time I'm having 2 color grading projects at once. And by this, I mean, I'm working, of course, color grading as employed, and I'm freelancing a big project on the side as well. I mean, it's all fine. It's all legal, but either way, it's going to be a lot. Anyway, I hear the bells toll outside, which means goodbye, everyone. And yeah, again, it was super nice to have you all here. Bye bye.